YouTube? I'm Yasmin Woodland and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about Rachel Beaver from Teen Mom Young and Pregnant. Now I was looking through, I think it was like Twitter earlier today, and I saw that Teen Mom had posted this clip. Now in this clip, Rachel was actually outside and she was talking to her boyfriend. Now a lot of people said that they really don't care for him. He's like immature, he's kind of goofy and stuff like that. So his name is Jacob, and they were sitting outside and they were talking about birth control. Now, Rachel has been saying that she does not want to go back on birth control, and the reasons are really undisclosed, but we'll get to that later in the video. But she was saying in this clip that she doesn't really want to get back on birth control. Now, she was asking Jacob if he's willing to have another baby, like what's his thoughts on possibly having another baby. Do you want another one at this time? And he's just kind of like, sometimes yes, but sometimes no, because I know it's so hard, like with the ones we have and stuff like that. So he's kind of chuckling, he's laughing, he's goofing off, and it seems like he's not really serious, or he's not really comprehending the fact that, you know, getting pregnant again can be a huge deal, because that's a baby that you're bringing into this world that you have to take care of. So he says, you know, if you don't want to get birth control, Rachel, then don't do it, because she was stating that her mom was trying to make her go to a doctor's appointment to talk about the different types of birth control. And he was just like, well, if you don't want to go, that's your choice, and, you know, just simply just don't go. So fast forward in the clip, she was inside in one of the bedrooms and she was talking to her mom, and she's just like, you know, I don't want to go to that appointment. I don't want to go talk about birth control options. I don't want to go talk about any of that because I don't want to be put on birth control. Now, her mom was looking like super crazy, because Rachel started saying some things that honestly did not make any sense to anybody. And she goes, well, I don't want to go talk to a gynecologist because they know nothing about prescribing birth control. And her mom looks at her like, are you serious? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is crazy. And she was like, the only person that is going to prescribe you birth control is your doctor, is your gynecologist. Like, what are you even talking about right now? And she was like, because I don't just want to go talk to someone who knows nothing about birth control. I mean, they're not even an expert in, you know, birth control. So why would I go talk to them? And her mom was just literally like, oh my goodness, Rachel, you don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, they're the ones that has all the knowledge about the specific types of birth controls, what are the side effects, what are, you know, what they do and stuff like that specific to your body. Like, obviously they know this information. Like, what are you talking about? So Rachel literally just stormed out of the room. She was super annoyed. She didn't want to talk about it. She left the baby in there with the mom and everything like that. So that's how the clip ended. And I was just kind of taken back a little bit because I didn't expect that reaction out of Rachel. Now, so here's my thoughts on this entire situation with her, okay? Okay, my thing is this. I don't know if MTV is putting them up to this. Like, I know MTV a lot of times they'll you know, spin certain storylines, or they'll tell the cast members to say certain stuff to get certain ratings and a certain reaction, you know, out of the viewers. So I don't know if this is something that MTV is, you know, putting in their ear to kind of say as a storyline, or if this is Rachel's genuine feelings. Now, obviously, no one can truly tell her what to do with her body. That's her body. That's her choice. Ultimately, if she doesn't want to get birth control, she doesn't have to. She doesn't need to be force-fed pills or, you know, an implant in her arm or anything like that. It is totally up to her. I just think her mother is just trying to advise her, like, hey, that's not the good thing to do right now, to not have any sort of protection when you are still sexually active. And it's just coming from a place of concern, like, hey, we've already went down this road before, you know, the baby's here and everything like that. So you don't need to put yourself in that same position to go down the same negative path. And I'm not saying that babies are negative. I'm just saying, given the circumstances, it can be a negative situation if you weren't prepared to have that baby, especially as a teenager. You barely have a livelihood. You're still living off your parents. Like, you barely have income. I mean, mind you, she's on the show and stuff, but besides being on the show, you're still a teenager. So what income do you really have? What experience or degree do you really have to where you can go out in this working world, make a decent amount of money and take care of your child? Where, you know? So as a teenager, no, personally, I do not feel like it's right to go without some sort of birth control or contraceptive. Now, I am actually going to take this video in another direction because, and I'm just going to hop right into it. Why is it only her fault? Like, I know there's two sides of the spectrum. Like, Rachel should be on birth control. You know, that's disgusting. She should want to, you know, not have another baby. Like, I can't believe this and everything else. And I agree. She should be on birth control so she doesn't go down that same road. Boom, I got that. But why, when it comes to birth control and stuff like that, why isn't the guy necessarily looked at? Like, I don't hear, you know, women screaming or men screaming, hey man, why didn't you get a vasectomy? Like, dude, you need to get a vasectomy. You need to stop having children. You need to do this. Why isn't that a thing? Like, why is it always the women that need to alter their body, alter their chemical, you know, throw their chemical imbalance off, you know, take pills every single day just to not get pregnant, have a implant put in your arm just to not get pregnant, you know, get on all these pills and gain water weight just to not get pregnant? Like, what about men? Why can't men do things to prevent pregnancy as well? And I'm not talking about just contraceptives. I'm speaking of other things. Like, for example, teen mom Macy and her husband, they went to check out different types of like options in regards to, you know, not having children, not getting pregnant. Now, the doctor specifically stated that getting vasectomies is easier and a lot smoother, and it is statistically proven that it is safer for a man to get a vasectomy versus a woman being on birth control. Now, that has been medically proven. Okay, so why isn't it that men has that mindset? Why isn't it? Why do people automatically just look at the woman and just blame the woman? Why weren't you on birth control? Why weren't you taking your pills? Excuse me? Well, why wasn't he, you know, getting a vasectomy? Why wasn't he taking medicine? There are different things on the market that men can do to not impregnate a woman. Why isn't it, you know, something like that? Why aren't men held accountable for getting someone pregnant? Why is it always the woman? So again, you can look at it numerous ways. And I know a lot of you all are still like, you know, Rachel needs to not get pregnant again. She's still a teenager. She hasn't learned her lesson. She needs to protect her body, protect herself, focus on herself, get herself together and stuff like that. And I totally 110% agree. I just wonder how many people out here have the same mindset as I do in regards to why is the woman always blamed for certain stuff and held accountable for certain stuff, but not men. Because to me, obviously, excuse me, that's not fair. Like, if you're gonna, you know, pretty much tell her off and say, well, you need to get on birth control, well, how come he's not having to sit down and being, you know, taught how to not impregnate a woman? Or yes, you can use contraceptives, but hey, read this scholarly article on vasectomies, read this article on, you know, certain pills that's going to eventually come to the market that you can sit over here and take to prevent pregnancy. Like, open your mind up to that. Like, why isn't that something that men are actually being held accountable for? I don't think it's just the woman. It should be the woman and the guy. So long story short, this clip was actually crazy. I didn't expect Rachel to think like that. I didn't think that she would want to be like, no, I don't want birth control. I'm just like, are you crazy? Have you not learned your lesson, girl? Like, what in the heck? And then her boyfriend, Jacob, he's just so ditzy. Like, he's just laughing and all this stuff. I'm like, you two are both young, immature, and clueless. So that's all I have to say for this video. So let me know in the comment section below if you all agree with me on this entire situation involving Rachel actually stating that she does not want birth control. Also, what do you think about what I said about men being held accountable as well? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, see ya.